Hi students, in the last video we discussed about the process and importance of quality check. In this video we will learn best practices of loading, unloading and stacking. We'll also understand what is hand pallet truck, its features and guidelines to use. So let's start with having a look on some important material handling symbols. I believe most of you must have seen these symbols somewhere or the other. The first symbol is this side up. It tells you the top of the box. A box needs to be placed upright when this symbol is shown. Second is fragile, and as the name suggests, fragile boxes need to be handled properly to avoid breakage. Example, boxes with glass material. Third is handle with care, and again, as the name suggests, these boxes need to be handled carefully to avoid damage. Example, sensitive equipment whose part can get bent due to rough handling. Fourth is don't open with knife because usage of knife may damage the material inside the box. For example, a stuffed toy. Fifth is to avoid direct sunlight as it might contain something that can be damaged. Example, wooden furniture that can get fade. Sixth is the temperature sensitive boxes and need to be kept and transported in defined temperature conditions. Example, cosmetic products. Seventh is avoid placing near magnet as the material inside might contain iron. Example, hard drives or speakers. And eighth is keep dry as the material can get damaged by water. Example, textile. Now let us see the correct posture while material lifting. Correct posture while material lifting is of utmost importance to avoid injury to back or spine. As you can see in the photo, your back should always be straight while lifting and shouldn't be bent as it increases the chances of injury. Also, when using a pallet, make sure that it is not damaged as it can cause injury to legs. When you're stacking unused pallets, the stacking should not exceed 5 feet because there is a risk of pallets falling and causing injury. Now let us look at some box stacking practices. Boxes should be kept upright. If light and heavy material is placed together on a pallet, light material should be placed on the top of heavy material so as to avoid damage of light material. Distribution of material on pallets should be proper to avoid staircase-like structure as it ensures best utilization of pallet capacity. LED boxes should always be placed vertically so that we do not cause any damage to the screen. Pressed boxes should be stacked on top of good boxes so as to avoid further damage. Box stacking should not exceed 5 feet because it might result in boxes falling down and getting damaged. Now let us see how other material like gunny bags, liquid drums, bikes or scooters should be stacked. This stacking is just to avoid falling down and damage. Now let us see what does a hand pallet truck or HPT means. Hand pallet truck or HPT is a tool used for lifting and moving pallets. Its key features are manual operation. It is operated by a user pulling or pushing the handle to lift and move pallets. Second feature is hydraulic lift. It uses a hydraulic mechanism to raise and lower the forks. Forks are two elongated arms that slide under pallets to lift and move them. Third is steering wheels that allows for easy movement in tight spaces. And fourth is load capacity. HPTs are typically designed for different loads depending upon the model. Now let us see some important guidelines to use HPT. Don't use HPT if you are not authorized to use it. Always make sure that the weight of lifting material should be less than the design load of HPT. Wheels must be in good condition and be free for movement. While using HPT, avoid running because the load may get unbalanced during speeding and the risk of an accident is increased. Avoid the use of HPT on ramp, and if required, make sure your position should not be in line of HPT. Avoid sharp turns of HPT. Take an appropriate turning radius to avoid toppling of load. Never operate the HPT with single hand, always use both hands for operation. Be attentive while lowering the load to avoid pinching of leg. What were the key takeaways of this video? We learned best practices of loading, unloading, stacking, and we understood what is hand pallet truck, its features, and guidelines to use. In the next video, we will be discussing about middle mile logistics. Thank you.